ధన్యవాదాలు.
So after the history, let us talk about this facility. So I invite Dr. Narayan Rao Garu to talk about the diagnostic center services.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం. Dignitaries on the dais, माननीय श्री दत्तात्रेय होसपल्ली गारू, सरकारी विवाह राष्ट्रीय स्वयं सेवक संघ, प्रोफेसर चिलकूरी शांतम्म गारू, माननीय श्री दूसी रामकृष्णाराव गारू, सह क्षेत्र संघचालक, संघ परिवार, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. On the occasion of Golden Jubilee celebrations of Vivekananda Medical Trust, today Vivekananda Diagnostic and Research Center is inaugurated by Pujaniya Sri Dattatreya Hospale Garu. The trust is grateful to Swargiya Chilukur Subramanya Sastri Garu and Professor Chilukur Shantam Garu for their noble gesture of donating land for the service project, service project. This project was conceived by Mananiya Bhagai Garu and Mananiya Dusi Ramakrishna Rao Garu and other elders from the Sangha. This diagnostic center provides broadly 4 categories of services. One is outpatient services, laboratory services including radiology and pathology, and daycare center services and pharmacy service. Coming to outpatient services, there will be daily outpatient services by physician, surgeon, gynecologist and orthopedic surgeon. There will be weekly super specialist services by cardiologist, gastroenterologist, neurologist, urologist, dermatologist and ENT surgeon and psychiatrist. And as a whole, we also provide dental care services, which includes daily outpatient services and performing dental procedures. As a holistic healthcare service, the center will provide homeopathic and Ayurvedic services. And there will be daily outpatient services and Ayurvedic procedures like Panchakarma will be done. The Department of Pathology will provide clinical laboratory services, which includes performing all the blood tests. Radiology department will provide CT, MRI, ultrasound and X-ray services. We have daycare center with 8 beds. The facility is useful for temporary hospitalization for providing services like administration of IV fluids, blood transfusion, minor surgical procedures like abscess drainage, wound dressings, minor orthopedic and gynecological procedures. The facility is equipped with minor operation theater attached to the daycare center. This center will also serve service to the nearby people of fishermen community and 24,000 students of Andhra University campus and to the families of Sangh Parivar. The management will try to provide quality service at affordable price cost. On behalf of the Vivekananda Medical Trust, I thank all the donors and the well-wishers for making this project possible. Dhanyavad.
నాకా మైక్ ఇచ్చాడు ఇది తీసుకు I would now disconnect. I would now request Professor Madam Chilukuri Shantamma Garu to share her experiences with us.
Hello, hello. వాళ్ళకి
వినిపిస్తుందండి,
పై వాళ్ళకి
వినిపిస్తుంది.
హలో, నేను సుబ్రహ్మణ్య శాస్త్రి గారి భార్యని. ఇది ఒక మహాసముద్రం. వీరందరికీ కూడా నేను పాదాభివందనం చేస్తున్నాను. నాకన్నా అందరూ చిన్నవారే. ప్రజ్ఞ విషయంలోనూ విఘ్నత విషయంలోనూ మన ముందున్న సముద్రం ఎలాంటిదో అలాంటి వారుగా తయారయ్యారు. కాబట్టి నేను ఇంకా వారిని గురించి చెప్పవలసిన పని ఎక్కువగా లేదు. అయితే ఈ సంస్థలో వైద్యుని గురించి, ఎవరికి ఏ జబ్బు ఉంది, ఎలాంటి మందు ఇవ్వాలి, దాన్ని ఎలా పరీక్ష చేయాలి, దానిలో ఏం లోపం ఉన్నది అని చెప్పేందుకు ఎన్నో విషయాల్ని కూర్చి విడతీసి విడివిడిగా చేస్తున్నారు. చాలా బాగుంది, ఎప్పటి నుంచో చేస్తున్నారు. కానీ రీసెర్చ్ సెక్షన్లో మటుకు ఎక్కువ ఇంతవరకు సాధన జరగలేదని నేను అనుకుంటున్నాను. ఇప్పుడు ఈ సంస్థలో రీసెర్చ్కి స్కోప్ ఉంది. అంటే ఈ జబ్బు ఎందుకు వస్తుంది, దేనివల్ల వస్తుంది, దీనికి ఏం మందు ఇవ్వాలి, వాడికి సమంగా అంటుతుందా లేదా అన్న విషయాల్ని కూలంకషంగా నేర్చుకోవటానికి ఎంతో కృషి చేస్తున్నారు రీసెర్చ్ ద్వారా. ఆ రీసెర్చ్లో ఎన్నో విషయాలు తెలుసుకోవాల్సినవి ఉన్నాయి. అవన్నీ ట్రైనింగ్ అవ్వవలసినవి ఉన్నాయి. వాటిని తెలుసుకొని ఈ సంస్థకి కనుక అప్పచెప్పితే ఎంతో పైకి వెళ్ళగలదని నా విశ్వాసం. నేనుగా ఈ హై కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి చూసారా, నానో సెకండు, పికో సెకండ్ సొల్యూషన్స్లో ఉన్న హోమియోపతి డ్రగ్స్ మీద కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేయాలని నా కోరిక. ఎందుకంటే ఆ కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్లో వెళ్ళి ఆ సెల్ మీద అది యాక్ట్ చేస్తుంది అంటే చాలా విచిత్రంగా ఉంది. కాబట్టి అలాంటి విషయాల్ని ఎన్నో చోట్ల ఉంది హోమియోపతి వైద్యం రీసెర్చ్. అటువంటి చోటుకి మన ప్రజల్ని పంపించి బాగా ట్రైనింగ్ చేయించి ఇక్కడ దాన్ని ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేసి కొన్నేళ్ల తర్వాత ఒక నోబెల్ ప్రైజ్ సిద్ధమయ్యేటటువంటి హంగు దీనికి ఉన్నది అని అనిపిస్తోంది. అంటే మీరు రీసెర్చ్ సెక్షన్ని బాగా డెవలప్ చేయాలి అని నా కోరిక. అదేమిటంటే ఒక లెబొరేటరీ, ఒక చేస్తున్న డిస్కషను, సెమినార్సు అన్నీ ఉన్నటువంటి ఒక యూనిట్ లాంటిది కట్టి దానిలోకి కొంతమందిని చొప్పించి వర్క్ చేయిస్తే తప్పకుండా రీసెర్చ్ లెవెల్లో బాగా వచ్చి ఎంతో సహాయపడుతుంది మీకు అని నేను కోరుతున్నాను. ఎందుకంటే కొంత రీసెర్చ్ చేసిన దాన్ని కాబట్టి మా సబ్జెక్ట్స్లో నేను ఈ మాట చెప్తున్నాను. మీకు అటువంటి శక్తి భగవంతుడు ఇస్తాడు, మీకు ధైర్యం ఉంది, మీరు తెచ్చుకోగలరు. మీరు అన్ని ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్తోనూ కొలాబరేటివ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ పెట్టుకొని ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఏమేమి జరుగుతుందో తెలుసుకోవాల్సిన పరిస్థితి ఉన్నది. నెక్స్ట్ ఒక్కటి చెప్తాను. ఎన్నో రకాల స్పెక్ట్రాస్కోపీని అప్లై చేసి ఎంతో రీసెర్చ్ చేసిన పేపర్స్ చూశాను నేను హోమియోపతి డ్రగ్స్ మీద. ఈవెన్ రామన్ ఎఫెక్ట్ కూడా చేస్తున్నారు హోమియోపతిలో. ఈ కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్స్లో, ఇంత కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్స్లో. సో కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ చేసే ల్యాబు, రీసెర్చ్ చేసే ల్యాబు, డిస్కషన్ చేసే ల్యాబు, దాన్ని బయటకు పంపించే ల్యాబు, ఇన్ని రకాలు తయారు చేసుకొని ఇప్పుడు తయారు చేసినట్టే ఒక పెద్ద బిల్డింగ్ తయారు చేసి దానికి రీసెర్చ్ ల్యాబ్ అని పెట్టి మీరు ఎంతో పైకి రాగలరు. మీకు జమాబందీ ఉంది, మీకు హంగు ఉంది, మీకు సైన్యం ఉంది. మీరు వెళ్ళండి, రీసెర్చ్లోకి వెళ్ళండి. దట్ ఈజ్ మై ఫీల్.
Thank you, madam. And definitely your wishes have been taken as our command, and we will definitely work on it. Let us have an inspirational song now by Sri Bali Ravi Garu.
రుణం తీర్చుకొను తరుణమిదేనని నేల తల్లి నిన్ను పిలిచింది. జాతి గెలుపుకై వేకువ వెలుగై చీకటి చీల్చుకురమ్మంది. రుణం తీర్చుకొను తరుణమిదేనని నేల తల్లి నిన్ను పిలిచింది. జాతి గెలుపుకై వేకువ వెలుగై చీకటి చీల్చుకురమ్మంది. మెతుకే దక్కని బడుగులు ఉంటే, బడి గడపే తొక్కని బాల్యం ఉంటే, నేను నాదని తలచేవా, నీ చిన్ని బొజ్జకే బ్రతికేవా. ప్రతి కష్టం నీదని అనిపిస్తే, అది తీర్చాలని నువ్వు తపిస్తే, మనము మనదనుకోలేవా, నువ్వు అందరి బంధువు కాలేవా. రుణం తీర్చుకొను తరుణమిదేనని నేల తల్లి నిన్ను పిలిచింది. జాతి గెలుపుకై వేకువ వెలుగై చీకటి చీల్చుకురమ్మంది. మన చరిత్ర మరుగున పడుతుంటే, మేధో సమరం జరుగుతూ ఉంటే, ఇజాల నిజాలు తేల్చేదెవరు, జగాన సత్యం నిలిపేదెవరు. మన విజ్ఞానం మే ఆయుధమై, సాంకేతికతే సాధనమై, శత్రుమూకలను ఎదిరించే సైనికుడై నువ్వు కదలాలి. రుణం తీర్చుకొను తరుణమిదేనని నేల తల్లి నిన్ను పిలిచింది. జాతి గెలుపుకై వేకువ వెలుగై చీకటి చీల్చుకురమ్మంది. వివేకానందుని పిలుపునందుకొని హిందువులందరూ తెగువ పెంచుకొని, భూమిని తల్లిగా పూజిస్తూ జాతి కోసమే జీవిస్తూ, అంతరాలనే చెరిపేద్దాం, అందరం ఒకటిగా అడుగేద్దాం. భారత మాతకు జై అంటూ ప్రగతి పథమున పరుగెడదాం. రుణం తీర్చుకొను తరుణమిదేనని నేల తల్లి నిన్ను పిలిచింది. జాతి గెలుపుకై వేకువ వెలుగై చీకటి చీల్చుకురమ్మంది. చీకటి చీల్చుకురమ్మంది. చీకటి చీల్చుకురమ్మంది.
పర్లేదు, అవసరం లేదు. థ్యాంక్ యూ. నౌ ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ అవర్ చీఫ్ గెస్ట్ माननीय दत्तात्रेय जी होसबले sir to give his baudik please.
Namaskar to one and all. Respected Dr. Shantamma Gari, माननीय सह क्षेत्र संघ चालक श्री रामकृष्ण राव जी, डॉक्टर नारायण राव, the trustees of the Vivekananda Medical Trust, doctors and other personnel connected with this medical trust and particularly of the diagnostic center. Sangha Adhikaris, dear sisters and brothers who have assembled here to make this event memorable and historic. At the very outset, I would like to congratulate the Vivekananda Medical Trust for taking up this project to extend the medical services to the larger community in the inspiring tradition of our land and also continuing on the path of the medical trust which has been traversed for the last 5 decades since 1975. 50 years in the life of an institution may not be very long one, but at the same time, the journey would not have been very easy. There have been institutions in this country and elsewhere in the world who are hundreds of years, they have served the community, served the humanity. Service institutions, particularly, functioning for a longer period is not very easy thing. There will be many ups and downs along the path. And Vivekananda Medical Trust is not an exception in this. Because when you have an objective, a goal to serve the people around us in a particular field like healthcare, there are many challenges that you come across, which we all know very well. I need not go into the details of that. But the spirit and the mission that has identified the founders of this institution and the succeeding generations who have been carrying on the mission. A testimony to the success of such a selfless journey. Friends, you all know very well because you are also in the field that there will be many challenges when you take up a project of this kind. In our society, on one side there are people who will be ready to come forward to render all the cooperation and ready to share the responsibility. But on the other side, though the number may be small, but there will be some people Let us see how these people work. And if there is some small error, they will be ready to comment upon that. But the people who are committed would not bother those pinpricks. And the people who are associated with this from the day one, they were inspired by the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. So they are made of a different material. So that's why, in spite of challenges, hardships and miseries, comments and criticism, they will be ready to accept those things and go along and face it. And many a time, that provides extra energy to take up the challenge. That is why the Sangha people have worked all over the country, and Visakhapatnam Sangha people are not exception. They are also made of the same material. And the first generation which started the work in this city and in this part of the country, they only thought of start working for the organization of the society through shakas, but also the leaders had a vision to take up some seva activity. And that vision, over a period of time, got materialized. That dream was realized in different aspects of society and dimensions of service and seva. Like education. We all know Visakhapatnam is known for its BVK institutions. I need not go much into that because many of the people who are here are the products of BVK institutions. It is not just making the people literate, educated and have some degrees, but also have a mission in life. The education institutions are not sorted only to disperse degrees. So then the other things came up, like healthcare. And Visakhapatnam is a place which is surrounded by the Vanavasi Kshetra, the tribal belt. Years ago, when I was working in Vidyarthi Parishad, I remember to have visited Paderu, where the ABVP Karyakarta started one community hall and rendered service and various seva activities and constructive programs and projects in those tribal areas. The Sangha Karyakartas, through various seva activities, have tried to see that the people who are our brethren, who are also children of Bharat Mata, they do not feel that they are away from the society and they are bereft of quality life. So this vision of taking the society along with us and see that the life, the quality of life of every individual in the society is upgraded. They live a happy life. And in turn, they are capable and competent to contribute to the society in return. The vision of Sangha, while serving the society, is not just to earn some punya. Seva karo, punya kamao. Charity. The Sangha is not doing only charity. That is why the Sangha Swayamsevaks who have started such institutions like Vivekananda Medical Institute or BVK or any other thing in the world country, no doubt they want to render service with the help and cooperation and support of the larger society. But at the same time, we want to create people, men and women, who are capable and confident of contributing to the society, pay back to the society. not just be the receivers, but also the givers. So this is the core of the seva activity. Transform the society. When you have to transform the society, it is not just material benefit that you have to see that they distribute. But how one can be a better human being ethically, spiritually, culturally. It is not only the mundane activities, but something more than that. The Vivekananda Medical Trust, when the very word Vivekananda is associated with this, has something more than an individual. Vivekananda, no doubt, signifies, personifies the great values of cultural and civilizational tradition of this country. It was Swamiji who declared that the twin goals or objectives of this land, Bharat, is seva and sacrifice. They are the twin ideals of this land. So when Vivekananda Medical Trust jumps into action, it will have to have these ideals as the bedrock. And that is what we have seen. So that's why on this occasion, I would like to congratulate on behalf of the society, the Vivekananda Medical Trust, for the fantastic work they have rendered to the society for the last 50 years, and particularly I congratulate them for taking up this new project of establishing a diagnostic center and a research center here. Dr. Shantamma said that she, in the very opening sentence she said, and she introduced herself, it was not necessary, everyone knew, but by introducing herself in that way, she remembered the great soul, Dr. Chilukur Subramanya Shastri Garu. She said, I am the wife of Dr. Chilukur Subramanya Shastri Garu. And Subramanya Shastri Garu stood for the great ideals of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. A professor of eminence, a person of social stature, not because of any family background or something else, but because of his own learning, scholarship, his humility, his love and affection towards people, his commitment to the organization, his vision for the nation. I have had the great opportunity of learning under him. And Chilukur Subramanya Shastri was an epitome of the RSS ideals. So when we have named this building in the memory of Chilukur Subramanya Shastri ji, I consider that we are acknowledging the contribution of Chilukur Subramanya Shastri ji, number one. We are expressing our gratefulness to the family of Chilukur Subramanya Shastri ji, Shantamma Garu, who have given this land on which the building is standing. But at the same time, may I tell you and remind you that you are also accepting a responsibility to see that the ideals of Chilukur Subramanya Shastri Garu are also carried forward through this work. So it is not just recognizing his contribution or thanking the persons, but it is also accepting a responsibility. So I think the Vivekananda Medical Trust has thought of naming after Subramanya Shastri with this thing very clear in mind. Friends, the seva work, as just now I referred to Swamiji's immortal words that seva and sacrifice are the ideals of this land. The Swayam Sevaks all over the country are trying to serve the society in nearly 100,000, 1 lakh smaller big projects in every corner of the country, covering a vast canvas of seva activity. Healthcare, education, rural development, self-reliance, skill training, and whatnot. So there have been more than 120 varieties of seva activity that are being conducted in various parts of the country. But every activity is not run by only the Sangha Swayamsevaks, but with the involvement of the people in the society who are ready to come forward and take it up. So it is a mission of rousing the feeling, addressing to the tendency of the society to pay back to the society. Runa Chukana. We have a debt on our heads and we have to clear the debt. That is Samaj Runa. And people who associate with these seva activities may not be from Sangha background, but they are the well-meaning people of the society. The power of the good will go a long way in transforming a society in a very constructive manner. So that is what is required today in the society. Our country is taking a leap forward now, but society has to do its own work and it has to contribute in its own way. And it's wonderful to see that the society is aware of this. I will just quote one example of 3-4 years back, which we all have experienced, that is during the pandemic of Corona, COVID. When this pandemic was engulfing the entire society, all over the country, people were suffering. People individually, small groups, NGOs, various organizations, institutions, they came forward to help others wherever it is possible, in whatever way it is possible. That means intrinsically this quality is there in our people, but you have to rouse it. You have to see that it is just takes a shape at the time of requirement. One more thing, the experience that we have seen during the days of Corona or the COVID, a large number of migrant laborers, lakhs and lakhs, they started walking along the roads because there were no transports. As we all know, there was lockdown, no hotels, no restaurants, no roadside vendors. People from Ahmedabad, Pune, Surat, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, they started walking towards the eastern part of the country. They were all migrant laborers when they were on their foot. The people came forward to provide whatever succor, whatever relief is possible. People provided food. The kids, the children were given milk. And people also saw they are walking, so they are without footwear, or their footwear is already worn out. Then people came forward with chappals and shoes. Did the people ask which language you speak? Did the people inquire which caste you belong to? Did the people ask which state you are from? No. The humanity was in operation. The service was in its best. The seva was manifesting. People thought that there is suffering and I have to do my best. This is how the people have done. And on the other side, the migrant laborers, did they demand anything from the government? Did they loot? Did they say Zindabad, Murdabad? No. They were walking and walking. Friends, that was not the situation in many parts of the world. Army has to be called to quench the unrest. There were food riots in many countries during the corona. But it was in India, a society with so much of diversity, it did not have food riots. No army was called. There was no loot. People came forward. So that is the society that we have to see. If there is suffering, whole people, they have to come forward. And they did it. So this quality of our society should be there, always alive. It should not be dormant. When there is calamity, when there is disaster, people come forward. But it is also necessary that during the peacetime also, people should render some service wherever it is possible, in whatever way it is possible for them. That is what Swami Vivekananda said, the twin ideals of this society. And Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh has tried to build upon that. Dr. Shantamaji said about research, and she underlined the importance, the significance of the research work, particularly in present day world. I need not emphasize more on that because an experienced professor, Shantamaji, when she says, it has that meaning. Diagnostic labs, around 3 lakh labs are there in the country today. Roughly. The exact figures are not available. It is somewhere nearing 3 lakhs. And they are doing some good service. And many may be doing their work commercially, which also to some extent we can understand, although commercial loot should not be there. The service-mindedness should be there behind every such a healthcare activity. I just know Dr. Narayan was mentioning that why this center is started. Friends, what about the quality? Here comes the role of Vivekananda Medical Trust to see that this center becomes a quality center and a research center, which Shantamaji emphasized. Unfortunately, less than 3,000 labs are accredited in the country, out of 3 lakh labs. So accreditation is so low. There may be some bureaucratic hitches. I don't know. If it is there, it should be addressed. But rendering quality service, say starting an education institution, starting a healthcare center, or starting something else, out of our compassion towards society, because the society has given some support, that is good. That is the basic thing. Without that capital, you cannot start a work. And that capital of the compassion and the support of the society, you can't go a step further. But at the same time, only that is not enough today. Every seva activity should also conform to the requirements of quality. If you are teaching, what about the quality of the teaching? If you are having a service center, what about the quality? That's why I think the team of doctors and other medical professionals here associated with this would definitely commit themselves to the quality of this institution, this diagnostic center. That is why when Shantamaji expected that this should be a research center of repute. Without that quality, without that rigor, without that hard work, without that commitment, it is impossible to achieve that. And the people who are associated with this institution are known for their quality of hard work, their quality of commitment. That is why there is expectation, and that expectation is not misplaced. So that's why we have to see that this becomes such a center, and I wish the Vivekananda Medical Diagnostic Center and Research Lab will definitely set a model before all others in this field very soon. So I wish this center will become such an example in the society. Healthcare is very much thought of and talked of. The health facilities, modern medicine, allopathy, Ayurveda or homeopathic centers, all different. Of course, there should be an integrated holistic medicine system in our country, which all the people who are in the field, they should think about it, because this country of more than 5,000 years of civilizational experience has its own medical healthcare tradition also. I am not telling everything that was passed in the past was good and nothing new should be added. The knowledge is not limited to certain past years. The knowledge is unending. Its horizon is always expanding. The more and more research when it takes place, the intricacies of the human life will be understood. So that's why we cannot stop the knowledge there. That something has happened some 100 years back and that is all the good, and no good will take birth in the future. That is not going to happen. We should accept, we should welcome the new researches, new understanding of human life, new understanding of medical sciences. But at the same time, the ethical questions that are associated with the healthcare and the Indian knowledge system, the wisdom of this country, coupled with these things, we should see that the medical world, the healthcare sector, becomes a robust one, which can be a contribution for the human welfare. That is what in future we should achieve it very soon. Today, there are a lot of lifestyle diseases. A few years back, people used to say the psychosomatic diseases, etc. The lifestyle diseases, diabetes is a lifestyle disease, or some other things. So, when I visit various places across the country as part of my organizational work, I come across, unfortunately, 3-4 new, comparatively new, not very new, problems of our society and our families. Infertility, by choice, if a parent do not want to have children, that is a different thing. But there is growing infertility. And there is neurological issues. Children with autism, dyslexia, special education requirement needs are required for many children. So whether the number is increasing, whether we are identifying them more now because of the availability of various factors, whatever it is. So these issues have to be addressed. So this challenge in the medical field, in the healthcare field, is there. The governments are trying to do their best. There may be problems, but the larger society, people who want to extend services, seva, they have to take up these different areas and dimensions of healthcare. There is problem because of malnutrition, there is problem because of neurological problem, there is problem because of various other pollution and other things, occupational hazards. The list is unending. The medical service that is being provided today should be affordable and should be of quality. There is a affordable quality health care. We have to ensure these things to every individual in this country. As literacy or education is the right of every individual, health care which is affordable and of quality is also a right of every individual. How to ensure that? Should we leave it only to the government? The government should do their best. But at the same time, the vast society also should jump into action. And Vivekananda Medical Trust in this part of the country is definitely doing a human service, a fantastic example, a great model. I congratulate them, and on this occasion, I wish once again on behalf of all of you that this diagnostic center and research lab will achieve what the people behind it have thought of, will realize their dreams by rendering great service to society and making a mark in the field of healthcare and particularly of medical research and diagnostics. I wish them all the best on this occasion. Today is the birthday of two great people of this country, Jayaprakash Narayan, Loknayak Jayaprakash Narayan, and Nanaji Deshmukh. Nanaji Deshmukh, who was born on 11th October, worked in politics, but he took up the work of rural development, and he also rendered a lot of, he inspired hundreds of people to get into social work for rural development, healthcare, education, self-reliance, and many more. So he was saying one thing, I live for my people. Who are my people? Those who are in need, those who are unlettered, those who are not comfortable, those who are suffering. They are my people, and I would like to live for them. Does it ring what Vivekananda said? I worship that God whom the fools call human being. So every human being has a divinity inside. Through seva, we are worshipping that divinity. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for your great words, your blessings, the power of good that you talked about, and we want to work on that power of good. And thank you for once again reminding us Swami Vivekananda's principles. Yeah. We would like to now honor some of the special people here. Sir, Dattatreya sir, I would request you to kindly honor Madam Chilkuri Shantamma Garu. Then I request Dr. Keshara Garu to once please come on to the dais, and again request Sri Dattatreji Hosbale Garu to once I request Sri Murli Maheshwar Raju Garu to once come on to the dais. In my own words, he is a miracle man, because to construct this whole thing in 7 months' time, what was considered impossible was made possible. Please, sir. I once again request Sri Dattatreji Hosbale Garu to felicitate Murli Maheshwar Raju Garu. In literal sense, he has spent sleepless nights for the completion of this project. Please, sir, we would like to welcome you, sir, to honor you. Sir, please. Now request Dr. Narayan Rao Garu and Dusi Ramakrishna Garu to please honor our chief guest, Dattatreya Hosbale. That is very not necessary, sir. Now I request our Vice Chairman Sri Murli Maheshwar Raju Garu to give the vote of thanks, please.
Sabhaya Namaha. On this joyous and historic occasion, I stand before you all with heart filled with elation on being a part of the inauguration function of our new diagnostic center. Today is a milestone which is not the beginning, but it is a five decades worth of service and a remarkable journey which we have heard through Dr. Kesara. It was a very symbolic thing that we initially started in a small, modest way, and today have reached a place, or rather trying to find a place in the society by trying to offer affordable health care and to be probably the best in the industry in Visakhapatnam. Now, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest of the day, Sri Dattatreya Hosbale ji, for honoring us with his presence and also his inspiring words, and your encouragement for trying to reaffirm our mission to bring healthcare, affordable healthcare. Now, I also wish to thank all our esteemed donors who had contributed immensely for bringing up this facility. Though I wish to also thank Srimati Shantama Garu for having graced the occasion for the structure wherein she had lived for almost 50 years. She and our Subramanian Shastriji lived here for 50 years. And now a new monument had come up which would be rendering service. So, and would also bring happiness to the people who are trying to receive health care here. We also express our gratitude to all our donors who had immensely supported us in bringing up this facility by way of funding. Whenever we have reached anyone, everyone had spontaneously reacted and given us whatever we have asked for. So this had inspired us so much that we initially were a little hesitant about bringing up this project. Then when we have approached Seva International, the Seva International was the first institute, first organization which had said, yes, we are there behind you. So that had really given us all the strength, and thereafter we have reached out to other donors and some CSR as well. But the most warming, very heartwarming thing is the individual donors who have come forward in supporting us. I thank you, every one of them. I wouldn't like to take the names because it wouldn't be appropriate by giving a specific name and if I miss a few. I also thank our vast trustees and doctors who had really rendered their service without any gain, with the spirit of true service, and who are, some of them were here, and I wish to thank each one of them. Thank you, sir. I also wish to thank the media who had come in here to witness a small, a historic event, though a small one, a historic event in Vivekananda Medical Trust's career. Finally, my gratitude goes to everyone who gathered here to extend their support. Your presence had encouraged us to continue our service with humility and to be more empathetic to all the patients or whoever needs health care here. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Now we will have the Shanti Mantram by Dr. Tirupati Rao Garu, and after this I request all the trustees to kindly come onto the stage for a group photograph.
కార్యక్రమం పూర్తయిన తర్వాత అందరికీ భోజన వ్యవస్థ ఉంది. అందరూ కూడా దయచేసి భోజనం చేసి వెళ్ళాల్సింది కోరుచున్నాం. కింద అధికారులకి గ్రౌండ్ ఫ్లోర్లో ఉంటుంది, ప్రాంత అధికారులు, తర్వాత కొద్దిమంది అధికారులకి ఒక 50 మంది వరకు ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా ఫస్ట్ ఫ్లోర్లో భోజనం ఉంటుంది. కాబట్టి అందరూ కూడా కార్యక్రమం అయిన తర్వాత భోజనం చేసి వెళ్ళాలి. ఇప్పుడు ఎవరైతే బిల్డింగ్ చూడలేదో ఇప్పుడు ఈ భోజన ఏర్పాట్ల 15 నిమిషాల్లో పైన వెళ్ళి కొంత చూసి రావచ్చు. తర్వాత భోజనం చేసి 1 గంటతో కార్యక్రమం పూర్తవుతుంది భోజనంతో. సాయంత్రం మంత్రం చెప్తాను, అనుసరించండి. సావధాన్. సర్వే భవంతు సుఖినః, సర్వే సంతు నిరామయా, సర్వే భద్రాణి పశ్యంతు, మా కశ్చిత్ దుఃఖ భాగ్ భవేత్. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. ఒకసారి ట్రస్టీస్ అందరూ వస్తే ఒకసారి దత్తాజీతో ఫోటో దిగుదాం.
opened a new page in its service history towards society. And also, they have committed to build a quality lab and diagnostic center, which will be a model here. I wish them all the best in their endeavor. The healthcare is an important area in today's national life because we are achieving many things in the field of science, technology, and upcoming generation will have to live a better life, and healthcare is an important component. And Vivekananda Medical Trust's role in achieving this is exemplary and commendable. I expect the well-meaning people of the society to support this endeavor fully. Namaskar. चलो चलिए नमस्ते इसको निकाल देंगे जी हाँ हाँ नहीं वो भी है उनको दे देना